Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is another episode of Birminology. Today, we are joined by Ohio State 2023 running back commitment, Mark Fletcher, one of the country's top running back prospects, and a young man who Ohio State fans are going to love watching play in Columbus over the next 3 to 4 years. So enough of me talking about it. Let's let Mark Fletcher talk about it on the next edition of Birminology. Mark Fletcher joins us now. Mark, thanks for taking some time to join the show. First and foremost, I know you're down in Florida. You're on the southeast side of the state, so you're a little bit away from some of the real hurricane drama that's happened in the last few days. So glad you could take some time to join us. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Mark, you're a guy that Ohio State fans like to hear about, and they like to see your film. You're running people over every week on ESPN, and how glad are you that some of your games have been on national TV this year, so you can get an opportunity to show people what type of tailback you are? Because I personally feel like there's this misconception that because you're 6'1", 225 pounds or whatever, that you're not a true running back. But I mean, come on, man, let's see the tape, right?
Yeah, it's just been very fortunate for me that, it's been broadcasted on, national TV. And I'm just happy that everybody, kind of waking up now. Because, people just saying, oh, yeah, he's just a power guy. He just run people over. I'm just happy that I could show people that I could do other things, too, to be a complete running back.
That's part of what Ohio State, I know, really likes about you, the fact you catch the ball out of the backfield. You can run between the tackles. You can run around people. You can run through people. How important is it for you to know that style translates to the Ohio State offense? And you've been watching it, I assume. You see what they're doing with different styles of running backs. What do you think about the way you fit into that system?
Oh yeah, I think I fit in great. I think I'm just what they need. I can fill in. When a trade's going off, he'll be there for one more year, hopefully, when I get there. But so he can guide me. But I think I fit in perfect with the system. How they use the backs, catching out the backfield. When they need them to run people over, they run people over. So I think I fit in pretty great.
You play at one of the country's most competitive high schools and one of the most competitive areas in the country. You're, as you said, I mean, we're talking about it, 6'1", 225 pounds, 4'5", 4'6", 40 in that range. What do you have to do to get people to stop, ranking you at? I mean, I've seen you as ranked as number 35 or something in the country at running back.
Yeah.
That's I know that you're not going to say rankings matter because you have a scholarship offer from Ohio State and committed to the Buckeyes and have a bunch of other offers, but how does that motivate you?
It motivates me because it just shows me that not everybody is on my side still. There's still people who doubt me, still people who think I'm not, what I'm pronounced to be. But, it's just motivation. You can't worry about what them people think. I just know what I can do and just what the Buckeye fans believe that I can do. So it's very motivating.
Obviously, Coach Tony Alford, the running backs coach at Ohio State, is a big fan of yours. He offered you early in 2022, and at a point in the recruiting process where I don't think a lot of Ohio State fans ever had your name circled as, oh, this is a guy that could be the guy. What did it mean to you? What did it mean to you, Mark, that Coach Alford was willing to say, Mark, we want you? Any other running back in the country that they were recruiting, they said, hey, Mark's one of our guys. He's on your level. I mean, was that a welcoming feeling for you? I'm trying to figure out how a guy like you feels about that. Because it means something, right?
Yeah, it means a lot. It just shows that all the hard work that I'm putting in is just showing off, and it's just a great feeling to just be noticed by such a great coach, Tony Alford. So it's just, if he thinks I'm doing something right, I mean, I just got to keep on doing that and just keep on getting better and working hard, and that's what I'm gonna do.
You've been to Ohio State. You came up in the spring. You came back in the summer. Came back for the Notre Dame game on September 3rd. I know on Twitter on Thursday you're talking about wanting to get back up. What is it about Ohio State that's special to you? What makes it a place that you're willing to move 1,200 miles away from home for, 1,500 miles away from home for?
I think it's just how everybody there is really a family. Everybody hear that now. It's a brotherhood, but now I could really see it. And that's what everybody's from the recruiting staff, the coaching staff, just nutritionists, like how everybody just bonds with each other. It's like a really a family. And that's all, somebody down here in South Florida moving all the way to Ohio. That's all I need. And that's what I want to be around. So that's what's really the special bond that wants me to keep on going back up there.
With Ohio State, clearly it's a program that is one of the best in the country. Everyone knows that. How do you feel? How do you feel like when you talk to other recruits? Get not Brandon Innes, obviously your teammate and future teammate at Ohio State, but when you talk to other guys about Ohio State, and you're in the South, how much of a conversation is there, or do you think that people need to still be convinced that Ohio State is on the same level as Alabama, Georgia, et cetera? Or do I'm just curious from a recruit perspective, what is the opinion about Ohio State versus the SEC?
BIA, that's in America for a reason. Ohio State definitely can play at that level, and they just have to get the opportunity to show everybody. Because everybody down here, they already know, Ohio State is a great football program. But they always gonna compare them to the Bama, the Georgia, but we BIA, so they just got to come see us.
You've been to those places. You've been on all these visits. Was the substantial difference between Ohio State and those schools in that feeling you were talking about, a family? I mean, what do you think really separated them in your mind, or was it that feeling of just comfort?
Yeah, it was. I felt at home in Ohio State. Everybody feels different. Everybody, click people. But for me, I just felt home at Ohio State. Just the way I was talked to, the way I saw things, the way I felt. And, I just got that recruitment feeling. And that's why I decided that to be my home compared to those other places.
How hard has it been the last few months then? Because I know a little bit about you. I know you're a guy that likes the at-home feeling. You got the Miami Hurricanes down the road from your house, essentially. Yeah. They're still trying to get you to stay home. How hard has it been for you to kind of block out that noise and stay dialed in with Ohio State?
To be honest, it's been hard, not communicating with Miami. But, they know I'm still locked in with Ohio State. They can try, but I'm all Buckeye. And, it's just when I'm locked in, I'm locked in. I'm not one of those other, commits where they just, want to decommit later down the road. Now, I told Coach after the day he offered me that, later down the road, I was going to be locked in. So, I just cancel out the noise and I'm just focusing on my senior season. And then, when I get to go up to Ohio State, then I'll be that.
I think it's a weird situation that you guys find yourself in, because there's a value to continuing to have conversation with other coaches. You're trying to build relationships and a network for beyond football, but yet you can't often just have a conversation with a coach where he isn't trying to recruit you. So it's not like you can just call someone and be like, hey, you're my guy, let's talk, without him going, oh, by the way, you should play here. So like, do you have to just, is it necessary to just say, I can't even talk to these other schools because of that? Or how do you balance that out?
I'll just say, my father, he just never burn any bridges. He just always be respectful, always just be honest, be open, and just communicate well. And that's just honest, communicate, and that's that. They'll take it how they take it. But I don't never try to confuse anybody, I just want everything to be transparent, clear. And, that's just the respect, that they give me and I give them. That's that.
As you watch the Ohio State offense this year, you're starting to see Dallin Hayden, freshman running back, get some run and make some plays. Yeah. Is that exciting for you, knowing that, hey, if you just handle your business, you're going to get on the field there as a freshman too?
Yeah, that's very exciting, because when I had went there, Notre Dame game, I got to see their meetings. They're having a conversation with him, asking him questions. Then Coach Alfred was on him like this, asking him questions. They have him involved mentally, even though he might have not played that game. You see now he's already ready for what he did the other week. So it's good to see that they're not just worried about those guys that they trust. They're worried about the future. So it's good to see that.
Have you talked to Dallin about that? I mean, he's a guy who didn't enroll until June, so he wasn't an early enrollee.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be an early enrollee. Have you had any chance to chop it up with Dallin about what it took to get ready, to get himself in a position to play early as a freshman, even though he wasn't an early enrollee?
No, sir, I haven't got the chance to talk to him yet, but most definitely when I get back up there, yeah, we're going to have some words because, it's good to see somebody who was in my position and see how they transferred, into, a bigger state of football. So I'll definitely be asking him some questions.
In the state of Florida, there's you, there's Brandon, obviously your teammate at American Heritage. There's Bryson Rogers. There's obviously this push right now before Ohio State with Keon Keeley. How important is it that you guys be involved in recruiting someone like Keon? And are you involved in talking to him? And we see all the time the Alabama commits tweeting at him and that kind of stuff. And there's obviously something to that. But do you guys connect with him? I mean, obviously on a personal level, it's a little bit different when you're doing it on social media and it's for clout. But when you're getting to actually know someone, what's that relationship with him like?
Well, honestly, I don't have no relationship in talking to him. I know Brandon is better with that stuff, but I'll say for all recruits, when you're being recruited and you commit somewhere and you're trying to get somebody else to your school, it'll be good to just build a relationship with them, see what their heads at, see how you could connect, and just see like how they fit in the program, just how you fit. So, just talking to somebody, just being there, seeing how their season going. I think that'll make other recruits, want to join them.
How long did it take for your family, who again there's some loyalty to Miami and they like the Hurricanes? How long was it for them to come around to the idea that you were going to Ohio State and to be not just like okay with it, but saying, hey, my kid's a Buckeye and I'm thrilled about it?
As soon as I decided on Ohio State, they were with it. They said that to me ever since I started playing high school football. Wherever I decide, it doesn't matter. It could have been anywhere. They're just happy for me to get to play at the next level. So they support. They're gonna give me, tips. Always talk their mind, but they just want the best for me. So any place that I decide, they're happy with it. So when it was Ohio State, my whole room is Ohio State now. My mom, she just hopped right on the bandwagon. So they're with whatever I'm with.
I assume you're trying to get back up to Columbus for another game this year. It seems like the likelihood would be the Michigan game at the end of November, the Thanksgiving weekend. Is that something that you're already starting to plan? And, how excited are you to get to see that rivalry in person?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, that's exactly see them play the team up north. And I'm just excited to see that game. It's a big rivalry. Just want to see how the energy is in the atmosphere. So it's going to be fun.
Well, Mark, we appreciate you taking time, man. I know it's a busy time of the year for you. Congratulations on all the success you're having so far in your senior season. And hopefully that continues on the way to a potential state championship for you and your Patriots teammates. It's great to talk to you and looking forward to seeing you back at Ohio Stadium sometime later this season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
No problem. That is Mark Fletcher. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Birminology on the podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.